Hello Minecrafters, welcome to episode 9 of my Let's Play. Oh, hey, how you doing, Kite? I'm going to show you what I did with the mob farm. Down here, where I had the original skeleton spawner, and I later put in the blaze farm, as you see here, it's still here. Though instead of turtles, it now has grinders. And these are hooked up to a whole bunch of transfer nodes that pipe out the mob essence into this tank here. And all the items go into various deep chests here. I've got one for the hearts, up to 37 of those. But this one is for the blaze rods, and that one, 37,000 blaze rods. Thankfully, these things can hold, I think, 2 billion. So it'll keep going for a long time. Hey, how's it going? Nice glasses. But the blaze rods then get piped out and sent into these generators. And these generators, there's 7 of them, are all burning the blaze rods. And they're dumping into an MFSU here, which is going down since I let it fill up. So they're not producing quite as much power as is being used by the system, but that shouldn't stop it. It'll just slow it down once this empties out. And over here, we're making Enderman. Yep, out there I've got a... let's go over here and take a look without angering Enderman. There we go. Auto spawner has a safari net with an Enderman in it. It's got mob essence and it's getting power. And it's outputting ender pearls. And right now it's up to 769, but it's just started. And all these spoils bags and hearts are coming out as well. Got plenty of overflow in case there's tons of them. To us, these are being killed with the turtles, but to solve the experience point orb issue, I've got this one XP turtle up here, which you can query to see how many levels it has in it. You could then also put in a book into the first slot here and say enchant, and I got a treasure 2 book. So there that is. And yeah, I have instructions over here on how to use the enchanting table. Now, the piping system, I'll show you how everything is. It's all under the floor for the most part, what I could stick under the floor. Power from the MFSU is sent over to the 2 grinders, because they need some power, and they can take either Buildcraft or IC2. It also goes into an energy bridge, converts it to Buildcraft power, because I wanted to have just one connection to the bottom of that autocrafter. So this transfer node has energy flowing to the bottom of the autocrafter, which is right up there. But the autocrafter also needs mob essence, so I've got a liquid transfer node outputting mob essence through the same pipe to the auto spawner. Now the mob essence is coming from the 2 grinders here and going into the side of the tank. And the same pipes are also, though it's a separate node, pulling out. Like here's the transfer node on the bottom, and here's the liquid transfer on the side. And those are going over to whatever deep storage unit can take them. If the blazes ever drop something other than a heart or a blaze rod, it would get stuck in these transfer nodes. But so far, they haven't dropped any spoils bags, so I don't think the grinders count for that. But the turtles do. So their output goes into a line underneath all these. It goes to this first, so all the ender pearls end up here, and then anything else, like hearts or spoils bags, and will end up in these chests. I also had a hopper there down to a chest, which is also connected to these pipes, so anything that ends up in that room gets carried over here and deposited in the chests, which shouldn't actually happen any more than it's going to happen over here. where there's just a piece of stone there. But during my tests, I wasn't sure that I wasn't seeing the liquid mob essence going into the auto spawner. Power was going in, but not the liquid, and I wasn't sure why that was. I had the connection on the bottom, so I thought maybe I have to pipe the liquid ender to a different side. So I broke a spot in the back behind the auto spawner and brought an extra bit of pipe up and connected to the side, and then it filled up with mob essence. But every now and then, it would chuck out the Safari net. I mean, it would just pop out the side of the auto spawner and flow along and be sitting here where I had just stone, just sitting there, until I came and picked it up. I mean, the first one that disappeared, first time that happened, I went and looked and I couldn't find it. I mean, it popped out almost immediately. Never even spawned an Enderman. And I was trying to figure out what happened to it. I couldn't find it anywhere. I went out and got another one. But it turned out it was in my inventory. The coin had picked it up because it had popped out, and I just hadn't noticed it there. Because when I looked, it wasn't there yet. But the problem was, I had, instead of just attaching the one of these pipes to the bottom, I had attached an transfer node to the bottom. So it was pulling the Safari net out, not finding anywhere for it to go, because it was only that line, it only connects to power down there and the mob essence, so there was nowhere for the Safari net to go in that system. As soon as it had looked at all of the nodes in the network, it would eject it out of the system and just drop it on the ground. So once I replaced that transfer node on the bottom with just a regular pipe, it worked fine. I could clean up behind it. So everything's running fine now. I didn't have this half of it chunk loaded, which is why there's very little ender pearls, but a whole lot of blaze rods, and also a whole lot of power. I mean, everything up to about here was loaded, but the auto spawner was not. So it wasn't getting, it wasn't running. So that's it. I mean, it's almost completely self-powering. I mean, it will run on its own without any other input, even after this is empty. I mean, I'm almost tempted just to break this, to empty it out to see what would... let me do that. Let me get out my wrench. I'm going to lose that energy, but I can afford to, I think, at this point. Yeah, I can afford to. So let me get the right wrench. And, poof. And, of course, it falls all the way down. So there, all that energy is gone. The whole system is about to grind to a halt because... Oh, now give me my wrench back. Because I need to be down there to place this thing, too. So I want to be underneath. And poof. No, wrong side. I was down here. Thank you. Alright, so now it's going to be hovering around 0. It's never going to fill up. I haven't actually tried this. So these guys are not generating as much power as can be drawn by the system. So let's see if anything slows down significantly. I mean, these guys are probably going to be hovering, yeah, right down here at the bottom. So I want to make sure that they're killing fast enough that these don't build up. Which they shouldn't. I mean, the soul cage, like a regular mob spawner, should be self-limiting, I think. If the mobs are still within range, it'll count how many mobs are within range. And if there's enough, it'll stop running. So I think if I turn these completely... we should check that. Let's go down here and break that. So now nothing's getting powered, which means this is going to start filling up again. Here, I'll break that too. Alright. Sorry, and that's not getting any more power. These guys are all going to turn off once their internal buffers are completely full. Yep, there they went. Alright. So they're all idle. No power is being generated. And no more blaze rods. No more blazes are being created. Good. So this one's self-limiting. If this system shuts down, we won't be filled with blazes. Meanwhile, over here, if the power shuts down, these guys keep running. They kill everything, and nothing else is getting produced. So this is perfectly balanced. Alright. It's good to check these things, especially on a server, because it can really screw people up if your stuff gets out of control when no one's around. So, plug this all back in. And now see how fast it cranks up. Alright. That's pretty good. I mean, these guys are back in action again. These guys are popping out at a pretty fair clip. 1002, 1003, 1004. It's about 4 seconds in between. That's okay. It's going a little bit faster when there was more power, but now there's been a longer gap now. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1,004. It's still about 4 seconds. Maybe there was somebody that appeared when I didn't see him. Yeah, 4 seconds is fine. I mean, the turtles have no problem keeping up with that. That's another thing you have to watch out for. This one does not self-limit. So if you're not killing them faster than it's producing them, you're going to get more and more and more. And eventually it's going to slow the system down. So, I think this is a completed unit. Plenty of mob essence. That happened overnight, so it might be going down, it might be going up, I'm not sure. Now that it's running on just what it's making, with no backlog here, everything's going to be running a little bit different, so I'm not sure about the mob essence. But even if that is going down, that'll just slow this side down a little bit more. And that's fine. And this is one of these things you just set it up, walk away, and later when you need some ender pearls, come and get them. I mean, they've almost already got 1,000 ender pearls. I mean, you've seen how much it's gone up just since we started this video. I'm never going to be short of ender pearls again. I mean, I could build a house out of ender bricks, if I really wanted to. Which you can make ender bricks. So, yeah, I think that's a go. It's not going to solve my power issues. I still need to get more power. I mean, the blaze rods are pretty good for fuel, but with just the one tier 5 blaze spawner, not producing enough to really do a lot of work. I mean, there's 7 generators down there. The blaze rods, I want to make them positive in that the amount of blaze rods continues to go up even though I'm burning some. And with 7 generators, it is still going up. I might be able to add 1 or 2 more that without affecting that. It was getting pretty close. It was going up very slowly once I added the 7th generator. Right now, I'm not sure that the speeds may have changed. Oh, 38,444. So we'll come back later and I'll see if that's going up or down, or how much it's going up or down. Yeah, these guys are coming out a lot slower now than they were before. Once I get heavy power production going, I can slap some sort of remote power transfer over here, and I could even turn these off. Well, I might as well leave them on. I mean, this is more than enough blaze rods for any time soon. Might as well supplement any power that I'm using with these. But, yeah, I mean, once I got the power, I can crank this up to full speed if I really want to. But, you know, why would you want to? It's going fast enough. Definitely fast enough. And over the long haul, it'll definitely be good. And the nice thing about this whole system is all I need to do is make another safari net, go out in the world, find the mob that I want, say a spider, and capture it, and then stick its safari net in here. And this is now generating string. Or put creepers in there and generate gunpowder. Whatever you want. Pop it in. And add some storage for it, because you'll be getting a lot of whatever it is. Anything mobs can produce, I can now generate here. With very little effort and change at this point. So I think this is a really good system. So I used some for that book. It's up enough that I can get another book out of it. So, I think this is a success, and it's rather neat too. I think it's balanced. I've got the mob essence in the middle and the two matching tanks. I'm quite happy. Yay! All right. So I'll be back when I figure out what I'm going to be doing next. And yeah, I'm still happy about this. I think this came out really good. Better than the last time I did something like this. Self-powered, balanced, hidden piping. Yeah, it's good. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. Bye.